Space is just filled with cold cases, these epic, unsolved mysteries written in starlight. Well, today, we're cracking open a case file on a galaxy that looks like it's been through a serious cosmic brawl. Its insides are literally strewn across the sky. So let's dive right into this cosmic crime scene. Our investigation starts about 35 million light-years from home in the constellation Leo. What you're looking at here is a famous galactic trio known as the Leo Triplet. Now, two of them look like perfectly normal, beautiful spirals, but take a look at the one on top. See that? It's all stretched out, warped, and it's trailing this ghostly plume of stars. Something definitely went down here. And right there, that's our central mystery. What in the universe has the sheer power to grab an entire galaxy and pull it apart like cosmic taffy? Really think about that. This is the exact question that astronomers, our cosmic detectives, have been trying to solve for years. So let's meet our main character in this story. This is NGC 3628. It's a really unique spiral galaxy that we happen to see perfectly edge on. And because of that dark lane of dust that slices right through its glowing middle, astronomers gave it a pretty great nickname, the Hamburger Galaxy. Now, to figure out what happened to our Hamburger Galaxy, the first thing we have to do is check out the neighborhood. Because just like in any good detective story, the environment is packed with clues, and of course, potential suspects. See, the Hamburger Galaxy isn't flying solo. Nope, it's part of this small, gravitationally linked group with two other big spirals. One called M66, or NGC 3627, and the other is M65, also known as NGC 3623. These three are the main players in our little cosmic drama. And here they are again in their cosmic family portrait. Three absolutely massive galaxies, all hanging out pretty close to each other. And when galaxies get this close, they don't just, nod and pass by politely. Oh no, they interact. They pull, they push, they totally distort one another. And as you're about to see, that proximity, that's the key to this whole mystery. Okay, this is where the real detective work begins. To solve this case, we have to look beyond what our eyes can see. Astronomers have these amazing techniques to reveal all the invisible evidence, the hidden fingerprints that get left behind after these massive cosmic events. So if you just looked at this through a regular telescope, invisible light, you could just barely make out that incredible tail, that plume, coming off NGC 3628. It's made of stars and dust that have been yanked out of the galaxy. But believe me, this is just a tiny, tiny fraction of the real story. Now, get ready for this. On the right is what happens when astronomers point radio telescopes at the Leo Triplet. Look at that. That faint little plume we saw before suddenly explodes into this colossal, incredibly complex structure. It's way, way bigger than the visible tail. This, right here, is where the real clues are hiding. So what are we actually looking at in that radio map? Well, it's something called neutral hydrogen, or HI gas. You can think of it as the raw fuel for making brand new stars. This gas gets pulled around really easily by gravity, so mapping it is literally like dusting for gravitational fingerprints. It perfectly preserves a memory of what happened in the past. And this incredible map gives us three critical pieces of evidence. First, that plume is enormous. It stretches for about 100 kiloparsecs. That's about 300,000 light-years long. Just wow. Second, you can actually see it has a distinct two-arm structure inside it. And third, maybe the biggest clue of all, there's a bridge of this hydrogen gas that seems to connect NGC 3628 directly to one of its neighbors, M66, a real smoking gun. Okay, we've gathered the evidence. It's time to build our case. Right now, astronomers have two main theories that could explain this whole scene. So let's take a look at the suspects and the scenarios. On one side, you have the tidal interaction theory. This is your classic gravitational tug-of-war between two big galaxies, with the neighbor, M66, as the prime suspect. On the other side, we've got the minor merger theory. This one suggests the Hamburger Galaxy wasn't the victim at all, but was actually the predator, that it snacked on a smaller dwarf galaxy. For a long time, the tidal interaction theory was the front runner. Early models suggested that M66 made a really close pass by NGC 3628, and its gravity was so strong that it ripped that enormous plume of gas and stars right out of the Hamburger galaxy. And of course, that gas bridge we saw is pretty strong evidence for this idea. And get this wasn't something that just happened. The models point to this dramatic flyby happening about 800 million years ago. The incredible plume we see today is just the slow-motion, epic aftermath of that ancient cosmic encounter. But then there's the other theory, which is just as fascinating. In this scenario, that plume isn't made of material pulled from NGC 3628, but it's actually the shredded leftover bits of a smaller galaxy that got way too close and was completely torn apart. And this theory got a huge boost when scientists found a massive star cluster inside the plume, which could be the leftover core of that poor, doomed dwarf galaxy. So whether it was a brawl with a neighbor or a cosmic meal, what happened next? Well, this violent history didn't just leave behind scars, it actually created something new. And here's the really beautiful twist to this whole story. These incredibly violent, chaotic events, they aren't just about destruction. Turns out the chaos they unleash is also a powerful engine for creation. What happened was, the gravitational shockwaves from the encounter acted like a giant cosmic hand, squeezing all those huge clouds of hydrogen gas in both NGC 3628 and M66. This incredible compression triggered a massive galaxy-wide burst of star formation, an event astronomers call a starburst. And this just perfectly illustrates the cycle of life in the cosmos. So when we look back at this image now, we're not just seeing a scene of destruction anymore, are we? We're seeing the aftermath of an event that sparked the birth of millions upon millions of new stars and new solar systems. The scars of a violent past have become the stellar nurseries of today. Which really leaves us with one final, kind of mind-bending thought. The story of the Hamburger galaxy proves that our universe is not some quiet, static place. It's dynamic, it's violent, and it's constantly changing. So if this is the dramatic history hidden in just one small group of galaxies, how many others out there are silently hiding the evidence of their own wild and tumultuous pasts?